Oklahoman SNAP benefits.
And an early morning crime in OKC. All of this and more is coming up. The Daily O starts now. And I'm William Manziel. We're glad you're with us. SNAP restrictions in Oklahoma have officially began. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced that Oklahomans are now banned from buying soda and candy using their SNAP EBT money. Each state has its own definition of what qualifies as soda and candy. Oklahoma defines soda as any beverage marketed or sold as a soda, soft, sports, or energy drink, and flavored water or juice containing less than 100% juice. Candy means any product marketed or sold as candy, as well as some non-bakery products that are dipped or covered in chocolate, yogurt, or candy coating. This decision comes after the record-setting longest government shutdown last October and November, where the USDA announced that SNAP benefits would be cut due to lack of funding. What was initially supposed to go into effect January 1st started yesterday, February 15th, and the list is currently at about 18,000 items.
Police are searching for the suspect involved in a stabbing in Oklahoma City. OKC police were called out to a neighborhood this morning where they found the stabbing victim in the front yard of a home. It's suspected that there was some sort of altercation which then led to the stabbing, but the victim couldn't provide a description of who stabbed them or where they went. The crime took place inside a neighborhood between Pennsylvania Avenue and Blackwelder Avenue. Police say the suspect has fled the scene and the victim's condition is unknown at this time.
Tulsa County is gearing up for a $12 million flood prevention project in Broken Arrow. The project will take place at 101st Street and Garnett, an area that residents say has been flooding for years. County officials have confirmed that $8 of the $12 million is already secured through a FEMA hazard mitigation grant. The rest of the $4 million will come from state funding and Tulsa County taxpayers. The plan is to raise the intersection by 5 feet to prevent flooding in the road. And once the work is done there, the efforts will move north to 91st Street, where the road will be widened and gain a turn lane. Construction will begin in the spring and will take approximately 9 months.
A newly proposed bill may change the way Oklahoma decides on burn bans. Senate Bill 1550, proposed by Senator Lonnie Paxton, would allow county commissioners certain powers under emergency drought conditions. In Oklahoma, there are currently 2 ways a burn ban can be decided. The governor can declare a drought emergency burn ban, or county commissioners can when there's an extreme fire danger. The bill would keep the structure, but also give commissioners more flexibility during urgent threats. It would also add legal protection for commissioners so they're not held liable for damages. The bill proposal comes as we approach wildfire season, and the hearing is set for today.
Well, it seems the week may be starting a bit slow, but as we approach the weekend, it'll ramp up a bit. Aaron Stinson has our preview of what's going on during the week here in Oklahoma. Aaron?
Yeah, well, starting on at the end of the week on Thursday, Ella Langley is live at the OKZ Sioux Amphitheater at 5:30. Later that night, Kamari is at the Tower Theater in OKC at 8. And finally, Chris Stapleton is at the WinStar World Casino Friday night at 8. Well, that's all I got for this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aaron. It's been a nice but windy day here in Stillwater. Macy Strain is in the Weather Center with our current conditions. Macy?
Yeah, Shay, let's take a look at those current conditions. Right now, it's 73 outside with a real feel of 73. And if we take a look at our live shot across campus, we can see it's perfectly sunny. We do have a little bit of wind coming out of the southeast at about 9 miles per hour, but that's all I got for now. So I'll go ahead and send it back to the desk.
Always good to hear from you, Macy. When we return, we say goodbye to an OSU physician.
And OU Health is offering free lung cancer screenings. The Daily O returns right after this.
Hi, welcome to Sugar Llamas.
Well, I'm the owner of Sugar Llamas here in Stillwater. My name is Chad O'Rourke. We want to create a customer-centric culture and create an experience for our customers when they come in. Our ice cream in particular, you can get it other places, but I'm only aware of like one other place besides the Sugar Llama in the state of Oklahoma that you can get it. We actually ship it in from up north, but when it comes to our coffee, you cannot get Sugar Llama coffee anywhere else in the world. You might find a blend similar to it, but you're not going to get Sugar Llama coffee anywhere but a Sugar Llama. It is proprietary to us. We really actually want to get more involved within our community. It's not just about making money, but it's about serving our community and becoming a part of the community here.
Ace in the Bowl salsa started many, many years ago. I was trying to find a recipe to take to a family gathering, and so I started messing around with different recipes, and I took a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and I came up with a salsa that is truly unique. Ace in the Bowl salsa is an olive oil based salsa with tomatoes, green chilies, green onions, and black olives. There's no sugar added, it's gluten-free, low calorie, low carb, low fat, low sodium. So it's a very, very, very good alternative to any snack you may want. As of right now, I'm just looking to be in Oklahoma and having a successful business within the state. If my grandkids could ever take it over when they're old enough, that would be my dream.
Oklahoma State's head team physician is retiring after more than a decade with the school. Dr. Val Jean Ivan has been serving Oklahoma State athletes since 2007, working in college athletics for a collective 32 years. Before coming to OSU, Dr. Ivan worked at the University of Tennessee, where he was the head team physician there for 13 years. Dr. Ivan worked his 400th collegiate football game in 2025 and retires as the second longest tenured head team physician in the Big 12 Conference. Some of his other accolades include being a member of the U.S. Sports Medicine Society, achieving fellowship status with the American Academy of Family Physicians, and being a member of the Big 12 COVID-19 Medical Advisory Team. In his retirement announcement, Ivan says, "I'm especially thankful for all of our student athletes and their families throughout the years who entrusted their care to me and our sports medicine staff. I will forever treasure those relationships." The school has yet to name his replacement.
OU Health is encouraging early detection by offering free lung cancer screenings. Aptly titled Lung Cancer Screening Day, OU Health is holding free lung screenings at the OU Health Stevenson Cancer Center in Oklahoma City. The event is designed to help individuals determine their eligibility for lung cancer screenings and, if qualified, receive a low-dose CT scan. The scan is a quick, non-invasive imaging test that can detect lung cancer in the earlier stages, making it more treatable. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the U.S., and early detection can significantly improve survival rates. The event takes place Saturday, February 21st, with appointments from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
We saw some showers this weekend, but will we see any more? Macy Strain is in the Weather Center with what to watch out for. Macy?
You know, Shay, we're not going to be seeing any more showers in the near future, but it is wildfire season here in Oklahoma, so we are seeing some of that. You can see many spread across the state today, and right now it's not on our radar, but we do have one in Logan County, which is just southeast of Stillwater, and it is not contained at the moment. So with our high wind speeds, please be aware of your surrounding areas. But as of right now, moving into tomorrow, again, we're not going to see any precipitation. We're just going to see some cloud coverage move across the state. And that's about it for tomorrow. And then looking into Wednesday, again, no precipitation, just more cloud coverage. But here's some things I think you guys need to look out for. We are going to see some clear skies besides that cloud coverage, but over the rest of the week, clear skies. Those high wind speeds, again, with it being wildfire season, we do want to pay attention to those wind gusts, anything like that. And then we are going to have a temperature drop later in this week, I believe around Friday. But more on that later in the 7-day. I'll go ahead and send it back to the desk.
All right, Macy. When we return, how the Trump administration is getting involved in international conflict.
And details on the Department of Homeland Security shutdown. The Daily O returns right after this.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, you know, this isn't it, it never made to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago, and so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
Deep Fork Foods started in 2014. We started off with our nut products, and now we produce everything from jarred products to cookie mixes and pancake mixes and dried products for people, as well as our spice blends. Now we produce over 168 different products for ourselves and about 20 to 30 other companies in Oklahoma.
I'm Cindy Stewart. I'm one of the owners of Deep Fork Foods. We've gone from just making our own stuff and doing just small things to being able to co-pack and work with other companies and individuals within Oklahoma and across the United States as well.
I'm just really thankful for the journey that we've had so far and really look forward to the future where we're taking Deep Fork Foods and being able to provide more value for Oklahoma and its economy, as well as all the people within the state.
I love the opportunities that being in a food business provides. I absolutely love sharing food and good stories with people, so this just gives us another connection. And I can't wait to see where this path takes us with it.
The Trump administration is considering supporting Israeli airstrikes on Iran's ballistic missile program in the wake of stalling diplomatic talks in the region. Internal discussions between U.S. military leaders have revealed that the U.S. military is determining whether to provide support to Israel as the likelihood of Israeli airstrikes on Iran increases by the day. This potential support is coupled with an additional carrier group being sent to the Persian Gulf. The USS Gerald R. Ford and its flotilla of warships is being dispatched from the Caribbean in the Middle East, increasing the U.S. show of force as tensions strain further. This comes just days after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the White House to encourage the Trump administration to include the dissolution of Iran's ballistic missile program in the larger nuclear deal between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. and Iran are expected to meet in Geneva Tuesday for a second round of nuclear talks in an effort to prevent a regional conflict.
The Department of Homeland Security is officially shut down after funding ran out last Saturday after Congress failed to pass a bill to continue funding. Democrats in Congress are holding their ground in negotiations, withholding support unless a large swath of regulations to the administration's immigration crackdown are implemented. Regulations include a masks off, body cameras on policy for federal agents, new use of force standards, better identification for DHS officers, and a requirement for judicial warrants to enter private property. 92% of DHS employees will be exempt from the shutdown and still be required to work. However, employees will not be paid until the shutdown ends. Multiple agencies under the DHS umbrella, chiefly the Coast Guard and FEMA, are expected to face disruption due to the shutdown, hampering administrative capabilities and stalling search and rescue operations.
Diplomatic relations may be shifting between the U.S. and old allies in Europe. Alexis Trindle has more in your political pulse. Alexis, sorry.
That's right, Shay. Secretary of State Marco Rubio proclaimed a golden age of U.S. relations on Monday. However, he wasn't referencing old allies such as France or Germany, but rather Hungary. This marks a continuous shift of U.S. relations leaning towards Eastern European nations in the wake of many Western European nations disputing with the U.S. over Greenland. Rubio has recently met with leaders from both Slovakia and Hungary over the weekend, managing to sign an agreement on civilian nuclear operations with the latter. Rubio also spoke at large European security gathering on Monday, slamming many European allies, including France, Germany, and the United Kingdom for what he calls destabilizing mass migration, and urged Europeans to regain control of their national borders. Rubio stated, "While we are prepared, if necessary, to do this alone, It is our preference, and it is our hope to do this together with you, our friends here in Europe. That's it for our political pulse. Back to you guys at the desk.
The search for Nancy Guthrie continues as authorities struggle to pin down a suspect. Flowers are now being left outside of Nancy Guthrie's home as authorities continue their search for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. The Pima County Sheriff's Department released a statement that a pair of gloves has been recovered by the FBI in the area surrounding Nancy Guthrie's home that may belong to the chief suspect, a masked individual caught on a doorbell camera the night of Guthrie's abduction. The Pima County Sheriff's Department sent the gloves to a private lab, which procured the DNA of an unidentified male in its preliminary tests. The results have been sent over to the FBI over the weekend to run through a national database called CODIS to try and identify the suspect. A potential ID is expected to be released in the coming days.
Cowboy Wrestling is coming home with a big top 10 win. Alyssa Brandon is in the Sports Corner when we return.
My name's Dennis Abernathy. Lived here since 1968, and I consider myself one of Stillwater's oldest original family jewelers. Here at Dennis the Jeweler, we're more about personal service. My father always told me that anybody can sell the jewelry, and what we're doing is completely different, learning to do the repair work. That is one thing that will keep your business alive, because anybody can sell it, but not anybody can fix it. To me, jewelry is very, very personal. Every piece of jewelry has its own story, and I get to hear hundreds of stories from my clients, which I love to hear. There's always a story with it. I mean, you buy a piece of jewelry for a show of appreciation, a sign of love. There are a lot of different aspects for jewelry when you purchase it.
My wife lived east of here, about 35, 40 miles, something like that, over at Lamont. I was dating her from over at Alba when we were going to college. I knew about the well then. It was a great well. It was great water. I'd stop there, stick my head under it, wake up, drive on home, that kind of thing. And people talked about bottling this water. And so that's why I started thinking about doing that. And so in 2003, the property come up for sale. And so we started working on that, had the opportunity to buy it. The hopes are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. This company means a lot to me because I guess we started it from scratch. And to be able to have it where it's at today, I don't see this as the end at all. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Welcome back to the Daily O and welcome into the Sports Corner. I'm Alyssa Brandon. Now let's see what's going on in sports. Cowboy Wrestling is bringing home its 11th consecutive win after a weekend in Blacksburg. Number 3 ranked Cowboys defeated number 6 Virginia Tech 19-12 yesterday afternoon. OSU took 6 of the 10 bouts, with number 2 Sergio Vega collecting the lone bonus point win of the duel. The win improves the Cowboys to 14-1, while the Hokies dropped to 10-3. The duel featured a premier matchup between 2 unbeaten freshmen. Number 10 Jax Forrest took on previously unbeaten number 6 Aaron Seidel. The win improved Forrest to 9-0 on his collegiate career and gave him his first top 10 win. Moving over to the court, Cowboy basketball tipped off a doubleheader on Saturday with a loss against TCU in overtime. Ty Gensler was courtside with a closer look on the nail-biting game.
Valentine's Day, a day all about love, had the Oklahoma State Cowboys facing heartbreak, with their hopes of dancing in March Madness in danger after a hard-fought overtime thriller against the TCU Horned Frogs. Both teams entered the game knowing a win was essential if they wanted a chance to punch their ticket to the March Madness bracket. TCU had a strong first half, not giving up the lead and knocking down 7 three-pointers in the first half. It looked like the Horned Frogs were hoping to run away with the momentum, being up 39-34. However, that would soon change for the Cowboys. Senior forward Parsa Fala scored 15 points in the second half, on his way to a season-high 27 total points. Fala, paired up with a beautiful dish from Kanye Clary to Isaiah Coleman, is what got the crowd at GIA rocking. Down to the final seconds, a crucial missed free throw by TCU made it a 2-point game, where Jalen Curry tried to go for the game-winning 3, but it fell into the hands of Fala, who laid it in for the game-time bucket, sending the Cowboys to overtime. All signs were leading for the Pokes to win here. However, Jaden Pierre for TCU had other plans, scoring 5 out of the 11 points for the Horned Frogs in overtime. The Cowboys had another chance to send it to double overtime, but Jalen Curry wasn't able to connect, making the final score 95-92. Despite the loss, head coach Steve Lutz said the Oklahoma State Cowboys still have plenty of fight left as they continue their push towards the NCAA March Madness bracket.
Like, nobody should be giving up. We have a chance to still go to the NCAA tournament. Last week when the bracketology came out, we're in. We did not play well at Arizona State. TCU's right on the bubble with us, right? So did we need to win this game? Absolutely. But you got Kansas, you beat Kansas, you're right back where you need to be.
The Cowboys return back to GIA this Wednesday against number 9 Kansas. Reporting from Gallagher-Iba Arena, Ty Gensler, The Daily O.
Closing out the Valentine's Day doubleheader was Cowgirl basketball with a thrilling win over Texas Tech. She's on the weather wall today, but Macy Strain was on the hardwoods on Saturday. Here's a look.
The Cowgirls are feeling lots of love here on Valentine's Day in GIA as they take down the Lady Red Raiders 75-65.
The Cowgirls came into Saturday needing a statement win, and they delivered as they collected a top 20 win in Stillwater. It was a back-and-forth battle, and at the end of the first, the Cowgirls were trailing 15-14. But during the second quarter, the Cowgirls got hot, outscoring the Red Raiders 22-9. For head coach J.C. Hoyt, these types of runs have happened all year long, but it was the defense that made the difference.
You know, that's kind of been our story all season. I think we've been, for most of the season, one of the only teams with as many players who average double figures as we do. It's us and LSU. And then that second quarter defensively, Amari was a huge part of that. But again, it was team defense because we had really specific scouting preparation that our kids executed perfectly. That's just something that, you know, maybe the average person wouldn't recognize or appreciate, but that was really, really great defense for us.
At the end of the half, the Cowgirls had a 12-point lead. And even with a strong second-half start by the Red Raiders, the Cowgirls' defense and scoring in the paint held strong, maintaining a double-digit lead. During the fourth, the Lady Raiders tried their best to get things going, but they could not prevail. 5 Pokes had double digits on the night, led by Jaden Wooten with 16 points and 7 assists. As a team, they shot over 53% from the field and 50% from behind the arc.
The Cowgirls will be back here on Monday in GIA to take on Utah. Reporting from Gallagher-Iba, Macy Strain, The Daily O.
Cowgirls not satisfied with that huge ranked win from Saturday. They were at it again this afternoon in GIA and dominated for another key Big 12 win over Utah. Cowgirls jump out to a double-digit lead in the first quarter. Haley Timmer putting up 12 points in the first half. By the way, that was her 1,500th point as well. And then the defense forcing 24 turnovers, and Micah Gray comes alive in the second half for a team-leading 17 points. 73-55 win, all said and done before dinner. Well, that's all we have today from the Sports Corner, but when we come back, one local school is welcoming a 4-legged employee. Shay and Will have it right after this.
I'm Travis Taylor. I'm the general manager for the Hotel Indigo Tulsa Downtown. I have a real good understanding of the food scene in Tulsa, and I've loved to see the way it's evolved over the years, and I'm glad to be part of it.
My name's Kevin Kyle. I'm the executive chef. I started here, the idea was to do something local. Everything that we try to do has Oklahoma products.
Tulsa is a big oil boom when we were the oil capital in the early 1900s. How Route 66 put Tulsa on the map. And the menu around that was, well, what would an oil worker take out in their lunchbox? That's how Prospect kind of came from.
We never get crazy busy, so we can do a lot of different things with food. And we can do things like wine dinners and have local dinners. We have a private dining room that people can come.
I think being at the heart of the old Route 66 has kind of weighed into us getting a lot of different things brought in from different areas of the United States. When I taste something on our menu for the first time, the first thing I go is, yeah, that's Tulsa.
My name's Kayla. I've been here since the beginning, so 4 years. Scratch is more focused on farm and mostly made in Oklahoma products, keeping it local. Sustainability is our biggest thing. That's one of the reasons why this place opened.
I've been the chef here at Scratch for 2.5 years. Started here as a line cook. Our food and drinks are a bit separate entities almost inside the restaurant. So the food is now up to 85% of the products we bring in are raised or grown locally. It's all based off of things that I grew up eating in southern Oklahoma, the things my grandparents ate.
Fresh food, clean food, organic food, sustainability, that's all of our thing. From front of house to back of house, we're able to maintain both with freshness. But made in Oklahoma means we get it straight from the farms that are 20, 30 minutes, another little county away. We get it straight from them.
Highly regarded actor Robert Duvall passed away earlier today. Abby Walston has that and more in our A-List update. Abby?
Yeah, well, the Oscar-winning actor passed away yesterday at home at the age of 95. Duvall was best known for his tough guy roles in the Godfather franchise and Apocalypse Now. He had a career spanning over 6 decades, playing characters like Arthur Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird. Duvall received the National Medal of Arts in 2004, awarded by President George W. Bush. Sadly, Duvall's passing means he joins the list of memorable actors who we've lost this year, along with Catherine O'Hara and James Van Der Beek. Duvall's representative shared that there will be no formal service, but encourages fans to honor him by watching a great film. That's all I have for your A-List update. Back to you at the desk.
On a lighter note, at Town and Country School in Tulsa, there's one staff member who's a little different than the rest. And that's because she's a dog. Sterling is a rescue dog, a beautiful husky saved from her previous life, where she was used as a breeding dog for the first 5 years of her life. In those 5 years, Sterling produced 5 litters. Adopted by the school's technology administrator, Kathy Rourke, Sterling was brought to work due to her own anxiety from her past. And on her first day, she helped a kid with extreme anxiety, and as they say, the rest is history. Sterling is now a registered therapy dog, being a constant companion for kids with learning disabilities and anxiety. And it doesn't hurt that she gets paid in treats and belly rubs.
Well, before we go, let's go back to the Weather Center where Macy Strain has our 7-day forecast. Macy?
Yeah, guys, looking at the 7-day, today we had a high of around 76 with that low at about 55. And moving into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to see highs in the mid to high 70s and lows in those low 50 temperatures. And then Thursday, we're going to have a high at about 70 during the day, but overnight, we're going to see that temperature take a really big drop down to 33. So then moving into the weekend for Friday, we're going to have that temperature in the high 50s and that low in the low 30s. And then Saturday and Sunday for the weekend, that high in the mid 50s and that low in the low 30s, again, going to freezing temperatures. But let's go ahead and bring it to the desk.
Thanks for that, Macy. Well, guys, we didn't get to it in the show today, but happy President's Day.
Yeah, and I want to give you guys a fun fact. I didn't know this earlier today. Federally, it is actually regarded as George Washington's birthday, even though it's on February 16th.
Happy birthday, George Washington.
Happy
Shout
late
out.
birthday.
I did not know
early.
that.
I don't know. Anyways, but that's a look at today's headlines. Thank you for joining us.
Make sure to check out the Daily-O tomorrow and the rest of the week for the latest happening here in Stillwater and across the state. For the Daily-O, I'm William Manziel.
And I'm Shay Faulkner. Have a great night, everyone.
My wife lived east of here, about 35, 40 miles, something like that, over at Lamont. I was dating her from over at Alva when we were going to college. I knew about the well then. It was a great well. It was great water. I'd stop there, stick my head under it, wake up, drive on home, that kind of thing. And people talked about bottling this water. And so that's why I started thinking about doing that. And so in 2003, the property come up for sale. And so we started working on that, had the opportunity to buy it. The hopes are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. This company means a lot to me because I guess we started it from scratch. And to be able to have it where it's at today, I don't see this as the end at all. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Thank you for coming to Stay and Play Pet Resort. This is where we can board your